Welcome to our in-depth review of the new OnePlus 11, and I am actually looking forward to do this review because OnePlus starts this year strong with the phone that I think will be one of my favorite and also a strong contender for one of my favorite phones for the year 2023. And we've also updated our review standard too. We will now cover a total of 7 things, the addition being a proper charging speed analysis. We have also updated our charging speed analysis to actually lock the battery level down to its exact voltage level and also its temperature while charging. For higher end phones, we also have one more section called the miscellaneous stuff, where we go through some of the features that are worth highlighting but do not take that much time. So let's begin with the OnePlus 11 review. Let's start off with the design of the phone. It is actually very similar to the OnePlus 10's design. It has a curved edge, and if you realize, we also have the alert slider once more. We also have the same camera cutout as the OnePlus 10, though the OnePlus 11's camera bump is a bit thicker and it has a single big circular glass covering all of the camera lenses. The OnePlus 11 also comes in a total of 2 different colors, Titan Black, which has a rough texture, and also Eternal Green, which is what we have here. I don't know how to tell you about this, but the color of Eternal Green kind of looks like a mix of grey and green together. However, I'm really not a fan of the glossy glass finish. Let's talk about the screens now. The OnePlus 11 comes with a 6.7-inch screen with a maximum refresh rate of 120Hz with a maximum resolution of 3216 by 1440. But for whatever reason, this phone uses 2412 by 1080 pixels resolution by default. So just remember to head into the settings menu and change this option when you unbox it. It is also an LTPO display, that means it can go down to a very low refresh rate just to save on battery life when you're reading something static, and also has both Dolby Vision support and dual reality speakers with Dolby Atmos support alongside HDR10 Plus certification support. I'm going to record a bunch of stuff so that you can judge for yourself. However, YouTube's algorithm will mostly make it look like a potato anyway, so yeah. That aside, we use our colorimeter to do our usual color accuracy test, and it can achieve 99.83% of sRGB and 98.9% of DCI-P3 color gamuts. But the maximum delta E is rather high at 3.04. Then for the maximum brightness, it can reach somewhere nearly 500 nits of brightness, and I think that is good enough for most cases, but again, definitely not enough for outdoor usage during a bright sunny day. Still, I'll consider this to be a good display overall. This phone now also comes with a total of 3 cameras, and all of them can be used to take pictures. All of the cameras have autofocusing, but of course Hasselblad makes a return as well because the 10T doesn't have it. I gotta say, the cameras in general, they do take good pictures. The colors are consistent across all 3 cameras, and the colors themselves are actually good. Both outdoors and indoors, dimly lit environment or otherwise, they do look great. It kind of makes me hungry by looking at some of these food pictures that the OnePlus 11 took. And these flowers also look superb. I also tried taking some portrait shots of some decoration, and the separation between the subject and the background is also very clean. Even the frilly bits at the bottom are cleanly separated as well. And then comes the night shots. Again, the colors are consistent, but the telephoto camera isn't particularly well suited to take handheld night shots. Maybe with the help of a tripod, you can stabilize the phone a lot more and then you can take better night shots. There is one thing that I want to nitpick though, and is that the camera's shutter button color. It's orange in color, and that is just very similar to the video mode's red colored shutter button. I always hesitate when I want to take a picture because I am not sure if it's in video mode or photo mode. Speaking of that, does the OnePlus 11 take good videos? Well, not bad, I'd say. It can take up to 8K 24fps or 4K at 60fps, and the overall video quality is actually decent. though I'll prefer if the colors are a little bit more vivid. The video was taken during a gloomy day, and for some reason the software just made it look like it's during a sunny day. We'll come back and talk about the camera improvement again in our comparison video between the OnePlus 11 and the OnePlus 10T, coming soon. And for the performance, this is going to be easy. So the OnePlus 11 is powered by the latest and greatest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset, and I gotta say the performance coming out of it is superb. We played Genshin Impact at the highest graphical settings at 60 FPS in our gaming test, and it maintained around 60 FPS for most of the time, though it did dip down to about 48 FPS for a few split seconds, but that's not a big deal since that also happens to the best gaming PCs as well. What I'm impressed by is actually the temperature. After playing Genshin Impact for about half an hour or so, the temperature is still at only about 40 degrees Celsius at its hottest spot in an air-conditioned room of 27 degrees Celsius. I think that's also real good. And the battery life is also great. It is using a dual cell battery that totals up to 5000 mAh as usual. And we use the usual PCMark battery life test at 100 nits of brightness. But since this phone results to a lower resolution, we also did a total of 2 tests to differentiate between the resolutions and its resulting battery life. The results are pretty much identical, and that is because what we've tested many years ago, resolution doesn't affect the battery life that much, it's your refresh rate that does. Anyway, no matter what resolution that you are running on, the phone can still get about 13.5 hours, which is respectable, and it can last you throughout one whole day without much of an issue. Then comes the weird part, the charging speed. For the OnePlus 11, it comes with a 100-watt charger inside the box, and it charges really quickly indeed. Our new charging speed analysis test also showed the exact voltage level and determined the battery level that is truly 100% and just not the number alone, and it can reach from 15% to completion in about 25 minutes. The temperature is also kept below 40 degrees Celsius, and I realized that OnePlus managed to keep the temperature down low because they are charging using the pulsing method, which results in this kind of ladder-shaped graph. For example, at the 10th minute, it charges from about 56% to 60% within 1 minute, but then it plateaus for a while before continue the charging. When it plateaus, the phone can cool down. But if you remember the OnePlus 10T from a year ago, actually not a year ago, just a few months ago, it comes with a 160-watt charger instead. If we use the 160-watt charger from the OnePlus 10T to charge the OnePlus 11, it will be charging super fast, right? Yes, but not in the way that we expect. You see, it did charge from 15% to completion by few minutes faster, actually 1 minute faster at most. However, the phone will go above 40 degrees Celsius for a majority of the time and peaks at about 42.5 degrees Celsius, and I just don't know the long-term implications. So what I can tell you is that if you're using the OnePlus 11, you don't need the 160-watt charger from the OnePlus 10T. What about the software then? The OnePlus 11 is currently using the Oxygen OS 13 running on top of Android 13, and honestly it felt pretty good, and it's just more or less the same in terms of software with the OnePlus 10T. It's clean, no bloatware, no ads, and honestly it's just really snappy to use. The OnePlus shelf returned once again, and I really love this feature, so it's nice to see them continuing to include it in their phones. There are a few additional features for gaming too, like the HyperBoost gaming engine, Pro Gamer mode, and also proper utilities to monitor the system status while you're gaming, like the GPU, CPU utilization alongside with your FPS. Finally, the miscellaneous stuff that I want to talk about. Like what we mentioned at the earlier part of this video, the beloved alert slider is back once more. It can toggle between 3 different states: ring, vibrate, and silent. Unfortunately, the OnePlus 11 still uses a USB 2.0 port, which means transfers are slow and it does not support HDMI output via USB Type-C. The phone does indeed support dual nano SIM cards, but it does not accept expandable storage at all. Now, the SIM card slot, if you realize, it does have a rubber ring around it, but I do have to emphasize that there is no official IP rating for the OnePlus 11. So, closing thoughts. I personally do like the OnePlus 11. The cameras do take good pictures and the colors do look great. It's just that I maybe want to see 3 times optical zoom instead of 2 times, but that is just how I would like to take my pictures. The design of the phone is fantastic, though I would really like a matte finish instead of a glossy glass finish. and I'm really glad that the alert slider is back. The speakers, the screen, the performance, and even the battery life alongside with the charging speeds are all magnificent as well. As for the price, that is something that I do not have as of the time of this filming, so I will leave all of my final thoughts with the price in consideration down in the description below, and I will also pin a comment in this video as well. So do check that out. Overall, if you're just looking at the technical specs and whatnot, this phone, it's great. So it's just the price that worries me. So if the price is somewhere around the OnePlus 10 or the OnePlus 10 Pro, because this year I don't think we have the Pro at all, as far as I know. So if it's only one model, so I don't know, maybe if at about $799, $899 it should be okay. I have no idea because they split it, then they consolidate back, so the price is gonna be a bit jumbled up. So if you have any questions regarding this phone, do let me know down in the comment section below. I'll try to help you out, and we'll see you guys in the next video.